Did you know that there's one fundamental that most people overlook that causes 90% of their inaccuracy? And it's not trigger, it's not grip, it's stance. And the stance is something that we got to talk about today because I see a lot of different people shoot a lot of different ways. There's actually two stances that people know. The Weaver stance was the original, and what it was designed by is Jack Weaver, and it was 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And the cool thing about this stance, really, it was a really mind breaking, is when it went out, it put directly over the pistol. If you're right-handed, you're right-eye dominant. And same thing if you're left-handed, you kind of put your foot back and got you over the pistol. When you're over the pistol, these were designed for accuracy competitions. They were not designed for combat situations. The problem with having 1 foot forward and 1 foot back, I need to move, or I'm going to move in an actual gunfight. My body will not let me stand still. And when I have 1 foot forward and 1 foot back, I only have one way to go, and that is taken off that way. It's hard for me to be mobile. If I wanted to move in this direction, I am going to have to cross my feet to get going. And when you have a firearm in your hand, you don't want to cross your feet. So many Isosceles stance came out next, and it's probably the standard now for most people, or a modified Isosceles stance. And basically what it is, guys, is we want to put our feet shoulder width apart. If you kind of think about this, your belly, your belt buckle, should be pointing towards the target. This is why I put that black line down the middle of the target. We want to be somewhat center into the target if you can. And as we lay the hand out, we get our feet shoulder width apart, bouncing on our knees just a little bit. And what we're doing is a little booty out. What we're trying to do is put this nose over those toes. And what that does, it helps us soak up some of the recoil. So as I drive the weapon out, I'm leaning forward and I'm putting my toes weight. I'm shifting all of my weight from my heels to my toes. And what this does for us, it gives us more balance and stability. We're here, and that allows us to get that whole recoil reflex that happens. You see a lot of people come to the range and they stand like this to shoot a pistol. Well, where's our belly button pointed? In that direction. What's going to happen to the bullets? They're going to be off pushed one way or the other because you're not centering yourself on the gun. Remember, we talked about before, if we're going to have the weapon in our hand, we cannot have it over our nose. We have to have it over our dominant eye. And the more we put ourselves in weird angles, the harder it is to become accurate with a pistol. So as we drive this weapon out towards the target, we want to move our chin to get our eye of the weapon. And when I'm putting that weapon out in front of me, I'm shifting the weight to my toes. And how I do that is by getting my butt out. So there it is, and I lean forward just now. I put the power on my toes. Let me show you from the side. You stand up straight, then you lean forward and shift the weight. And the more you shift the weight, it allows us to hinge on our hips and makes it so much easier. What else this does for us, guys, is it allows the weapon to stay level. Remember we talked about level pistol shoots level? If we've got the weapon in our hands and we're standing straight up with the firearm, chances are in a recoil management situation, it's going to rock you back. And as it rocks you back, you're going to shoot over the target. We don't want to be on our heels. We want to be on our toes. Why? Because it gives us recoil control. The recoil control is when this muzzle wants to flip up and down. Now, if you put the system together like we talked about many times before, gentlemen, you're going to use your pec muscles. Women, you're going to use your back muscles, and you're going to Women are going to push and push out, pull back, bounce on those knees, and lean into the gun. The more you lean in the gun, the weapon will stay level. Gentlemen, it's driving with the pecs. If you drive with the pecs and squeeze out with your pec muscles, you're going to keep that gun directly over your dominant eye as you press out and you shift your weight to your toes. Here's what I'll give you. Now think about being at the beach. Think it's a sunny day, it's beautiful out, and you are standing in the sand. And you want to kind of take off. Well, you're going to need to dig those toes in the sand because that sand slows us down. So I want you to think about, if you can, just imagine digging your toes into the sand and lift your heels just a little bit. And the more you lift your heels, you got to lift your heels just enough to get your heels off the ground, but not enough that's going to make you fall forward. And that's a good balancing thing we need to do. What another thing good stance will do for us, it'll give us consistency. Think about this. If I'm shooting multiple targets, all I need to do now is rotate my waist. Rotate, rotate, rotate. And if I want to shoot up or down, same thing. I'm on my pole that's in my hips, and I can move up and I can move down by using my hips. More importantly, anything, when you stand in a position where your feet are 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, it doesn't give us the balance we want. You almost feel off balance already, and that's going to cause a lot of stuff. Now, this is very controversial because a lot of people are going to say, hey, this is the way I do it, and I shoot fine, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I know. Some people can do it, but most people who are watching this video are new. And we want to give them the best results we can, the fastest we can, to make them more accurate. I'm a firearms instructor. I've been doing this for 13 years. I've taught a lot of students, and they can become more accurate with the Isosceles stance. Listen, I know this is controversial for some guys. There are going to be people killing my comments down below, but that's okay. I do this channel to motivate, educate, entertain. And I will tell you that the Isosceles is a lot easier stance for a new student to get a hold of. So let me demonstrate it one more time for you. We're going to push it out, shift the weight to our toes, and look through the weapon. Show you from the side, same thing. Bounce, lean forward, press out. Bounce, lean forward, press out. Now you can see, guys, my feet aren't exactly together. If you want to think about it, if you can, take a line, put it down here, and get your toes on it. You may want to make you feel better to have 1 foot back just a little bit, but not too much. I would recommend keeping your feet shoulder width apart and toes towards target. The black line is designed for where the belly button is. And as you push that out, you'll be on the weapon itself. When you stand at an angle like this, you're going to put yourself in a weird position. And the black line will help us understand where we need to be when we're in the booth out there. A lot of people want to use the wrist to aim a gun, and it's more in the waist to aim the gun, and that's what gives us the control. One last thing grip does for us, it gives us speed and efficiency. Because the more I can get this gun back into a level position to fire again, the easier we have. Because the recoil of a weapon, you think about this, the recoil goes up, I have to level it back down to shoot again. Recoil's up, I have to level it back because I'm not controlling my recoil. How do you know if you got a good stance? Grab one of your buddies. Do this for me. Go to the range. Put your hands out in front of you. You don't want to do it with a gun in your hand. Go ahead, put your hands out in front of you just like that. And have your buddy push on your hands. If you fall backwards, then you don't have the proper stance. If you lean forward just a little bit, it's going to be more challenging for your buddy to knock you over. And the more likely you'll control the weapon. It's very important. Stance is so much important that it's overlooked a lot. But now you know why stance is so important. Guys, I have an ebook down below in the descriptions. It talks about stance, and I'd like to give it to you for free. All you got to do is put it in the cart, check out, and then put free book at checkout. It's yours for free. Now, if you want to add a couple more in there to help us out, we would appreciate it very much. Those books are on sale right now for $1.99, so it's not going to break the bank, but it's going to give you a lot more education that you need. We've got a beta group coming up on the 24th of February, and it's at 7 o'clock, and we'd like you to join us. It's $74.95. What do you get? You get 4 weeks of training with me online. You get 1 conference call a week. You get homework. You get training tips and drills. You get a 1 conference call, Zoom call a week with me, and you are who we're looking for. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. It's in the links below. Go ahead and watch this video that we're about to put up. It's our live from last week talking about everything about the beta. If it's something you're interested in, the spots are limited. I think we only have like 3 or 4 spots left, but we'd love to have you. Until next time, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line of defense. See you, folks.